Hello my friends, and welcome to the Dollar Deluxe Diva channel. So today I'll be participating in the DIY Make Something New challenge orchestrated by the lovely Hosted by Krissy. So this was an open invitation challenge with an open spending limit as well. And the rules that apply are that you're to put something new together using your supplies, but the bulk of your materials be all Dollar Tree products. Once you submit your entry by the deadline and send her your video link, she will then add it to her playlist where you will be able to view all of the other extremely talented participants. So whether you're stopping by my channel for the first time or whether you're coming from Hosted by Krissy's channel, welcome. I hope you'll stay a while. Please join the family. Oh, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. But before we jump into this video, I just want to take a moment to thank Hosted by Krissy for putting together and creating this challenge, and for personally inviting me to join in on the fun. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So I just have this little wall hanging piece here that I've had for a long time now, and it just has a little cute quote in it that I gravitated to when I purchased it, and it says there's only one person who could make you happy, and that person is you. But it doesn't quite fit in with my decor anymore. It's not the color scheme that I'm going for, or that farmhouse style look. So what I decided to do was just open up the backing and take out the back, and so it's more like a shadow box style now, and it just has this glass inlet. So what I'm going to do is give it a rough sanding, and I'm going to paint it, and then I'll show you what I'm going to be using it for. I also wanted to show, as I'm giving it a light sanding before spraying painting it, that it has this little detailing on the glass itself, which I'm going to try to remove using some acetone nail polish remover and see how that works out. So I just wanted you to take a closer look at what it looked like before, and then you'll be able to judge afterwards. So I'm going to be trying to remove this detailing as well. So first off, I'm going to start by apologizing in advance. I did lose the footage of me putting the embellishments on this tray. My apologies. It got accidentally deleted. It went into the cloud somehow and I couldn't retrieve it, but nothing that I couldn't walk you through. And since this is just part of my project share, and it's not actually a Dollar Tree product, but I'm using Dollar Tree embellishments on it together with my actual Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just gonna walk you through. So basically, after the paint dried, I did notice that there was a lot of nail holes that were prominent and visible to the eye, and I didn't like the way that looked, and so I opted to use the jute twine around that perimeter, but one strand of jute twine wasn't enough. So what I did was here, that I'll try to zoom you in a little closer. What I did was I took the jute twine and I measured it out to the length of the tray, and I cut it in threes and triplicates. I knotted it at the end and I made like a braid, and so I made like a braided rope out of the jute twine and knotted it on each corner, and I did the same thing for every corner. So then on each and every single corner where the little knots met, I decided to make a single little bow out of that same jute, you know. So I just made a little bow and I glued it on top of the knots on the corner. Then I had a leftover piece of scrap burlap that I had in my craft drawer, and I didn't know what I was going to use it for, and I just decided that I was going to throw it here inside this inlet, and I like the way that looks there as well. And I also decided to use some of this decorative nautical rope, and I made sort of like a little hanger on the sides of the tray, if you will. And all I did was add a little hot glue on each end of the rope, and it's not really made to carry the weight of anything that you set on it. It's more for decorative purposes per se. However, I just thought it was a nice added touch and it looked cute, and so this is what I did. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna flip it upside down. It's hard to see in the camera because it's white on white and it's probably not gonna show, but I just added some felt to the bottom of the tray. The same way that I added the jute rope to each part of the frame, I just added a strip of white felt. This way, when I sit it down on anything, it won't scratch the surface. And that was it. That was it for this project. That's what I did, and this is where I'm going to put the other half of my project share on, and you will see that in a moment. So I hope that explained things to you thoroughly enough. Once again, I do apologize in advance for the lost footage, but I hope that with my explaining it to you, you were able to get an idea of how I put everything together. A little fun fact about me: I like to save my leftover jars after I burn my candles from these little mason jar candles from the Dollar Tree, and they're just the little mason jar candles. This was the watermelon scent. I buy my favorite are the lemon, blueberry, raspberry, and then recently I picked up some of these watermelon. Anywho, I cleaned them out after I'm done burning them, and as you see, I have a little collection here. So I'm about to step outside and give them a coat of spray paint and meet you back here so you can see what I come up with these leftover mason jars from the Dollar Tree candles, so you can see how I upcycle them and what kind of project I come up with to do with them. I'll meet you back here. So these are my jars. I took them outside to give them a coat of spray paint. There's 3, there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So I'm also spray painting this little frame that I'm going to be sitting them in for my DIY. So I'm just giving them a chance to dry before I go inside and finish putting them together. I just wanted to show you the process, and I'm out here waiting for them to dry. Okay, so now that the mason jars are all nice and dry, they're nice and all packed, and they meet regulations, so they don't have to be perfect because we're going to give them a light sanding anyways, because remember, we want this nice rustic farmhousey look to it. So what I did was I took a piece of Dollar Tree sandpaper and I just folded it in quarters, and so I'm just gonna go over the raised areas where it says mason and the measurements, and I'm just gonna lightly scuff it. You see how some of that paint is coming off? And that's it. You don't want to overdo it. You just want to lightly go over the raised areas. Sorry for shaking the camera, guys. I'm just trying to show you what I'm doing here. And these are the measurements. I'm going to go over it. And you want to give it that, what's the word I'm looking for? Distressed. A little distressed, rustic look. So you want to make it look like, you know, it's an old jar and it's been used over and over and over again. And so that's the look that we're going for. So I think I kind of achieved that already. So And this was in Lifetime, so that's how simple, quick, and easy it was. No brainer. And that's it. So now I can put my sandpaper to the side. And next we have this little piece of nautical decorative rope here, and I already measured it out. And I'm just gonna glue a piece. I'm gonna try to mark where I want my back to be so that it ends where, you know, it meets up right where I start, and it'll be facing the back. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my trusty old glue gun and put a little dot of the hot glue on my decorative rope right there like that. And I'm going to start it. I want to go in the center groove right in between, you know, where it has these markings where the lid meets. And so we're not going to be putting the lid on this anyway, so it's going to go in the middle. And then I'm just going to work my way around, gluing the nautical rope piece by piece because this glue gets very hot. So you want to press it in place for a couple of seconds and then move on to the next area and work the area slowly, piece by piece. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. And of course, this part right here is optional. You don't have to. If you don't have the decorative nautical rope, you can just use jute twine, you can use ribbon, you can use a numerous amount of things. I mean, the options are limitless. I had this on hand and I chose to use this because this is going to go together with the theme that I have in mind. So besides, it looks more farmhouse rusticy to me. I don't know if that's even a word, but and press it there for a couple of seconds. So now you see it looks like an endless piece of rope because you ended it where you started it at and try to match the pieces to fit as best as you can. And this is going to go to the back anyway. I like this part here as the front because it says Mason. So now the next step is going to be, we're going to take this little bamboo plant that I got from the Dollar Tree and we're going to transplant it into the mason jar. So how we're going to do it is, these things pop off really easy. Sorry, I got a little glue on my butter knife here. They pop off pretty easily. I've seen people just pull the whole thing out and it's like a pick. But what I'm going to do, I decided I'm going to try to bring up the whole thing together with the potted foam so that it could act as filler inside. You see, look, I was able to bring up the whole piece. This is how it looks, guys, inside the pot. Sorry, let me adjust my camera a little bit. And this is what it looks like inside the pot. And I was able to bring up the whole piece together. It's not that difficult. And so now I'm just going to replant it inside my mason jar. And it fits right in perfectly. You just gotta nudge it in a little. And so I can stop right there if I wanted to and leave it just like that, and it looks cute enough. Save these little pots, you guys, by the way, because you can always use them in a future DIY. So what I have here is these little pebble gravel that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's like what you use for fairy gardens and fish tanks, or you know, planting and stuff like that. So I just got this white gravel and I'm going to pour a little at a time right on top of that foam planter that I pulled out from the pot. And this is going to give it the height and the dimension that I want, and it looks like it was purposely, like if I purchase it this way, that's what it actually looks like. And there you have it, and I just think that looks so stinking adorable. And if you hang on for a few seconds, I will show you what the big reveal is going to look like, all put together with this guy's little friends, because he's got a couple of little friends, and I'm going to show you how I put them all together so that they can chill together. Be back in a sec. Ta-da! The moment of truth, guys. Here it is in all its glory. The moment we've been waiting for, the finished product. And this is it. This is my entry to the Make Something New challenge. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you were able to take note and get inspired and want to create something new out of something repurposed, and maybe enter in another challenge. I want to thank Christy once again for inviting me to partake and join in this challenge, and I hope she does more in the future, and if she does, I hope to be able to participate in them as well. So that's it, guys. That's it for now, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye now.